Hi, everybody. How's it going? I hope that you can hear me all right. Starting a little bit early, like a minute early, just because I'm kind of like chomping at the bit after last week's kind of weirdness with this guy. I'm really, I guess, excited to see if we can finally put the other three base coat colors on this guy. Um, so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I also wanted to show you. Also, can you hear me all right? Are the levels all right? Let me know. But yeah, this is what I've been working on off stream. I just have to finish the base. The base gets basically painted all black, and then I sort of wash rust gray into a few of the areas, sort of to make it look like it's kind of misty and spooky and ethereal. So this is what I've been working on. Man, she looks good on camera. Girl, you look amazing. I'm just gonna. You look good, girl. So yeah, this is what I was working on. I wasn't quite sure how I wanted to do the roses, but I ended up going with like sort of steel metallic because, like, yes, she's the Mortark of Grief, and she's like basically second in this army only to Nagash himself, but like her story is like she's basically still shackled to Nagash. She is his prisoner and she does his bidding. So even though she is a queen, she's also a prisoner. So that's why I kind of wanted her rose thorns to be metallic like shackles. So that is where we're at with her. Just got to finish the base. I'll finish the base tonight, more than likely, and then I'm gonna move on to something else. I think I gotta paint one more Iron Gut. This guy here, he's painted before, and so I have to paint him because I'm gonna be going back to play on tabletop. So this is like the only model that I need to do for that. So that's what I'm gonna do off camera this week. Aw, thanks, Jeff. Hi, Solar. How's it going? Um, so yeah, that's yeah, she does look good. I like the colors that I chose for my Night Haunt. It's a scheme that really does not take that long to do. But I think it's gonna look really good on the table. So I'm pretty excited. So yeah, I basically ended up putting this color all over the entire mini because it was like the only color that would really stick. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to put the other colors into the palette, and we're going to start base coating all the other areas. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. This is a brand new Army Painter paint, so it's going to go on the Vortex mixer. This is actually like my favorite black. This one and then the Vallejo model color black are both excellent. Um, the only thing is that with the Army Painter one, you really have to mix them. Like, they are just not. They have so much medium that sort of separates. They really should make like Army Painter branded Vortex mixers. I don't know. That's like a wasted opportunity. And so, what is everybody else working on today? I would love to know. Okay. So black. Then this, I need to get another one of these. This model color flat green. It's just basically a green. Almost out of this one. I'm gonna have to like order a bunch of Vallejo, I think, because there's a lot of colors that I use all the time that I'm getting low on. So flat green. And then this Monument Hobbies dark blue. I was sort of trying to still get used to this whole like super zoomed in look here. Working in the field. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Wishing for rain. I live in a desert, so I understand what it's like to wish for rain. It is already very dry. Um, which like the sun is nice because I get like seasonal depression. But at the same time I'm like worried because like we need the rain right now. Um, I'm trying to decide if I should paint my Necromunda gang or take a break and paint some of my Battletech minis for the event I'm hosting in a couple weeks. Hmm. Are the Necromunda minis for anything in particular, like an event or something? Because I would always sort of paint for the event first. At least like base coat and wash or contrast paint the minis for the event, and then you don't have to worry so much about it. You know? That's always sort of been my kind of take on stuff. This sword is going to be black. I do all their weapons just plain black because I don't really want them to compete so much with everything else. So off stream on that Lady Olander mini, I've been using a different Rosemary and Co brush, by the way, and it's much better than this one. So this one is the Evergreen, and it is not as tough as the one that I'm using for Lady O, and that's a Shiraz brand. Or I would guess it would be a line, the Shiraz line, and I really like that brush. That brush is probably gonna go into heavy rotation for me. I think I'm gonna do this kind of like mesh part here. I think I'm gonna do that and the piping, the green. That's what I think. And just like last time, I had the plan of sort of going through and just blocking in the colors of things that I knew what they were going to be. So that's what I'm doing today. So, other news, Lucas the Trickster has either allergies or cold sore. And I'm kind of just waiting a couple days to see. Because if it's a cold sore, it'll start getting better soon. There's nothing anybody can really do about it. But if it's allergies, I have to take him into the vet. Poor guy. I'm betting it's allergies though, because like when I first got him, like the first day that I got him from the breeder, he was so itchy and he had flaky dry skin, and so we immediately switched his diet. I used to work at a doggy daycare, so like when you work in a place like that, you kind of like learn the first steps. And so we changed his diet, and he's definitely like allergic to wheat of some sort. Um, so I'm gonna bet that it's allergies just because he's like a little allergic boy, but poor Lucas the Trickster. Just an ongoing campaign I'm playing in. Yeah, so I think that I would just take time to at least like get base coats and washes, or like some color on the BattleTech minis, and then it sort of like takes a little bit of the stress off, especially if you're running the event. You know, you just like get it all kind of ready well in advance. It's one less thing to worry about close to the day. But that's just me. I'm not usually a procrastinator. Okay. Like this blue normally covers so well. That's why I was like so upset last week. Although the paint does seem to be working fine this week. But yeah, I was so upset last week because like I chose colors that normally cover really well. They just would not cover. But we're getting it figured out. Do you ever also, like, I know I'm kind of all over the place with like questions today, but like, do you ever hear your own accent? Um, I took like a few linguistic classes when I was in university, and so I definitely hear like my Canadian rising sometimes. I feel like I don't have it as much as people from other places in Canada, but yeah, when I say out, I really hear my Canadianness coming out. I'm grinding away at an orc army for an upcoming tourney. Ooh. What are you doing? Are you doing like Goffs or like a speed wah? What are you doing for that? I also think I've decided on what to do after this mini on stream. I think we're gonna do an orc or two. Because it's been a while since I painted some orcs, and I have so many and so many plans for my army that I need to sort of stay well versed on my color scheme. Okay, so now we're gonna do. It's got like these sleeves up here. Just gonna hit these sleeves with this blue. I didn't used to, but occasionally I'll think about it because I once had a friend from New York explain that yes, the Pacific Northwest does have a regional accent, and he told me what it was. Is your inner monologue voice in Canadian? Sometimes I think it's Spanish. Um, yes, I guess. I never really thought about it, but like when I dream, I don't see color, and when I dream, I don't see faces. So maybe when I have an inner monologue, maybe it just is not actually even words. Uh, Goffs. I'm thinking Mega Dread times 2 Ripa Claws. Definitely the claws are better. With Stompomatic Pistons, that's really fun. And in the Teleporter, dang. The ultimate distraction Carnifex. That does actually sound really fun. I've never really had great success with my Mega Dread, but I don't have the dual. I don't have like the dual close combat weapon version, so because I thought that the big cannon looked cool, so I went with the big cannon. Um, but yeah, I definitely think that like the two melee weapons is like the way to go. Okay, I'm gonna pop that green on in those places that I know are gonna be green. And this green doesn't cover quite as well as the Monument Hobbies, but it's a nice bright green. It's a nice base green if you're gonna do fluorescent. Um, and that is the secret to fluorescent paints, is to like kind of slowly build up your coverage. So normally I don't approach miniatures this way. Normally I paint like whatever is sort of lowest in the recesses. However, I really just don't know what like where to place different things. So when I painted the first three models, they had way more cloth on them. So I'm not sure if this paint scheme is gonna like transfer as well over to something with less cloth. So that's why I want to sort of block it out to kind of see where the balance of the colors is, where I need like less of the whitish blue and more of the dark blue, etc. You got any Warhammer tats? No. No, I do not. I was thinking about getting a salt shaker. Um, well, I guess this is kind of a Warhammer tattoo. It just doesn't make sense anymore because the rules changed. But Insane Bravery used to be if you roll double ones on your leadership, then nobody would run away. Um, so I guess that's kind of a Warhammer tattoo. Um, but it isn't anymore. So yeah, I was thinking about getting like a salt shaker right here to like remind me to be less salty. Also because it's kind of funny. So that might be something that I do someday, but it's not super duper on my radar. How about you? Do you guys have any Warhammer tattoos? I was also thinking about getting like a little like fleur de lis like on my face because um my family is French Canadian. Well, so I'm adopted. So my adopted family is French Canadian. Um, and so I thought that that would be kind of like a cute hail to them, but also be a Warhammer tattoo. But then I was like, but I don't like Sisters of Battle. Like Sisters of Silence are so much cooler. Um, so yeah, probably not gonna end up doing that. I have a dog hair in my paint. I mean, I have dog hair literally everywhere. I often stop and think, like, how much dog hair do I really consume in a year? Like, it's probably a lot. I really like the story and lore, but I don't play the tabletop. You don't have to play the tabletop to be a fan and, you know, get fandom tattoos. That's the cool thing about Warhammer is like there's something for everyone, really. And it used to be when I was first getting started that like it kind of wasn't that way. So like back then it was a lot more misogynistic and like people wouldn't take you seriously if you like just painted or if you just liked the books. Like to be taken seriously back then as a woman in the hobby, like you had to play. Um which is weird. Like let's just all admit that that's kind of strange. And it's changed now and I'm so glad for that that people can just like just dig on the lore. You just like the lore? That's all you have to do is just dig on the lore. So it doesn't matter if I get like in all these little like ventilation mesh holes, because I'm going to be washing this. So no big deal there. But no Warhammer ones? Yeah. I only have one tattoo. I spend too much money on toy soldiers to afford more. It's kind of where I'm at too. Like if somebody wants to like give me $200 to get my like little salt shaker tattoo, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. You don't have to send me money. In fact, please don't, because people have like sent me gifts and stuff before and then just got like super possessive. So I actually don't take gifts from people anymore. However, if you want to support my tattoo fund, you can go to patreon.com and you can join my Patreon. How many doggos do you have? I have one very hairy dog. Um, and he is a puppy. He is a handful. I love him to pieces. Um, but he is a very special boy. He I thought he was going to be untrainable forever. I'm not going to lie. We finally started making like headway. Like we can take him for walks now, like decently long walks without him getting like stimulus overload. That's like the best way that I can explain this dog. He just gets overstimulated and then he's a terror. That's why I don't really play. Kind of expensive. It is very expensive. Yeah. What year did you start playing Warhammer? I started sort of dipping my toes into Warhammer in 2013. So I played a little bit of 7th edition. It really wasn't for me. Um, and then I found another all encompassing life consuming hobby that I did for a really long time. But it was a sport and then I hurt myself. So I couldn't keep doing that or pretty much any sports ever again. Um, so I really wanted like a tactical outlet that I didn't have now that I couldn't do sports anymore because I was like the defensive play caller on my line. Um, and yeah, so I was like missing that in my life. So I decided that I wanted to go back into Warhammer, and then that was in 8th edition. And I sort of got hooked on that and never really looked back. I was always painting in between, like even though I was playing sports and stuff, especially in the winter season when ice was in all the rinks, because then you couldn't skate, like you couldn't roller skate. So um, wintertime I was skating less, so I was painting more. Hey, Hydra Queen, so good to have you here. I hope that you're doing well. I just started with 40k. Shorts explaining weird rules have been a lot of help. Oh, I'm so glad that they're helpful. I started playing 40k in 1989. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I wouldn't say that I really started playing until 2019, and um learning how to play has been like a continuous struggle for me because I find the rules very difficult to learn. Um and everybody around me is super competitive, so it just kind of means that I've also fallen into playing Warhammer 40K kind of competitively. Um Even though I still like bring rule of cool armies and stuff like that, I do like to play them to the best of my ability. Um, and yeah, it's been like a really sort of tough learning process in that environment for me. So I started making the short videos because I thought maybe other people felt the same way as me. And a lot of people have said that they're really helpful. I think I'm all painted out for a little while. Turns out painting a big demon land in one night and morning takes a lot out of you. Yeah, I have arthritis now, so I actually have to get up and go out and walk and like get my joints moving again. I can't sit for those ultra long sessions anymore, which is sad in a way, but also good cuz moving your body is very good. Um where I live, marijuana is legal, so that really helps. But I thought, you know what? The sun's out. I don't need it last night before bed. So I take like a CBD oil before bed because I find it's easier to dose myself properly. Um, and I didn't take it last night, and now I totally regret it. Like, my knees are so angry, and they're just yeah, they're so angry. So after I get off stream, I'm probably gonna dose myself and go for a walk. Um, I do feel like very blessed to live in a place where it is legal to have something besides like really harsh anti-inflammatories and really harsh painkillers. Do you have to say wow like that? Yes. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. There are a lot of rules and procedures. Yes, there are way too many rules. My neck hurts a lot when I'm painting. Yeah, painter's neck is a thing. Like that's a definite thing. So not last week but the week before, I literally had to take off of painting. I could not paint because I had painter's neck so bad. Um I've been thinking too about actually it's a lot better when I am streaming because I have the whole rig in front of me, so I can't like hunch over like a little shrimp or a banana. Like I have to be like when I'm painting, the rig is maybe like 2.5 inches from my face, so it kind of forces me to paint upright, which is good. But it also means I have to paint with the miniature very far from my face, um, which definitely makes it a little bit harder to do like faces and stuff. Uh, hey, Alcheminis. The painting goes well. It's actually sticking on the mini this time, which is always exciting. Man, the last week's paint session felt so anticlimactic. Like, I was so excited to paint this miniature, and like when the paint just didn't stick, oh, I was really bummed out. So, I need to figure out where I'm gonna fit more blue in this guy. Should I just do his body glove thing blue? Because his body glove is different from the body glove on the minis I did last time. So it's kind of got like it looks like metallic cables or something. all through it. You can see it kind of in here a little bit. Yeah, when I tip it that way, you can kind of see, like, this is the body glove, but it's kind of like cables and stuff. I was gonna paint that black, but I'm not sure where I'm gonna be able to fit like more blue on this guy. My eyes have reached a point where I have no choice but to paint about a foot from my face, or I can't see the mini. Oh, I actually have really bad vision. Not really bad. I mean, it's not great. I'm not legally blind without my glasses, but I can't drive without my glasses. So I can see very, very well close up, but not so good um, with things that are far away. That might change as I get older, but for right now, this is the way it is. I'm signed into this account. I was going to use my other one that you may know, Faust Dimos. Yeah, you've been here before. I only have one account, for better or for worse. Hey, Mr. Fish, how's it going? Also, I haven't checked my emails today. Did you get your email from me? I did! Okay. Uh, cool. I will, maybe not today. Today's like literally my only day off. But I will get back to you tomorrow for sure. Ear to ear smiles for a minute. Aw, yay! Yeah, the boss and I have a big meeting that we're doing tomorrow, and then I'll have like more information for you. But either way, I will email you again tomorrow afternoon. These colors look not great together. I swear it'll come together. It'll all make sense. It will all make sense. So my tip to like all beginner painters, like once you've figured out how to thin your paints and all of that, before you start working on like more advanced techniques, I really think the thing to master is like clean delineation between your colors. That's an important thing, I think. Accidentally touched this here, so that's fun. Just fix that up a little bit. On vacation with the family down in Vancouver. Like Vancouver, Washington or Vancouver, BC? So I got all the time in the world to wait. Gotcha. I hope that if you're in Vancouver, BC, I hope that the weather is as beautiful down there right now as it is where I am in the interior, because it's absolutely stunning today. Okay, so this leg is going to be blue for sure, because this looks like a standard body glove area. One of my buddies got me into tabletop gaming, just retired from Warhammer, and gave me his orc army. Oh, around 3.5 thousand points, but has about 100 plus second edition boys. Oh, amazing. Yeah, Mark of Corn gave me a huge ogre army. I'm not sure where he salvaged it from, but now I'm salvaging it and painting it, and I love it, and giving it a good home. I actually should tally up how many points of ogres I have, because, like, my collection's getting a little bit big. Vancouver, Washington. It's a bit gross out, but bright and sunny in areas. That sounds about right for the coast, yeah. Welcome to Vantucky. I live in the Couve myself. Vantucky? Is there a story behind that? Vantucky. Ogres from bizarre bazaars as folks fled Warhammer Fantasy Battles to not play AOS. That was like a really fun time in Warhammer. That was like when I was just getting started in wargaming too, and I was like, whoa, 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 what's going on? I thought people liked this game, and like people were burning their armies, and like it was bizarre to me. I was like, why would they burn their armies? Like, can't you just, I don't know, play something else with them? Can't you just keep playing like the version you like? Spoiler alert, you can, and spoiler alert, people still are playing fantasy battles. Thrilled to see them getting the love they deserve. Yeah. Um, the Iron Blasters were kind of an adventure. I had one on Sprue, and I was like, I'll just do them together, right? I'll do them at the same time. That was a bad idea. There's a lot of doodads and thingamajigs on those. But the one that I got from you, whoever put it together was smarter because they did not put all the doodads and thingamajigs on. But I am less smart, and I just followed the instructions. That does look like a little piece of armor back there. So. Oh, look who it is! It's Lucas the Trickster! Hi, Baba! How you doing? Were you outside? You feel a little warm? Hmm? Were you outside in the sunshine? Yeah. um, excited to give them some love. Estimate is it will put me just over 11,000 points of orcs. That is a lot of orcs, my friends. Burning them, yes, people were burning their armies and taking videos of them, and like in my head I was like, literally you lose because you still gave GW all that money and you painted it and now you're burning it to make a statement, but the statement is that they still got your money. I spent a few days in Ottawa. I thought it was really nice. I've been to the Canadian side of the falls as well, not too far from Welland. Mythical Mini Wargaming HQ. Welland is like a weird place. Like, we walked down the street that Mini Wargaming is on, and I was like, man, like, everything is empty. Like, there's a pawn shop, a pizza place, and Mini Wargaming. Like, this is weird. But yeah, it's like a little bit of a ghost town. It's other than that, like the canal that goes through is quite lovely. Like it's a nice place to walk around, and there's just like not many businesses there at all. Vancouver's a bit politically conservative, so a lot of the folks who live here on the other end of the spectrum jokingly call it Vantucky. Ah, gotcha. My partner hates it because she's from the real Kentucky. Ah. Hey Rob, how's it going? Littles want lunch. Aw, well I'm so glad that you stopped in to say hi, Mr. Fish. Enjoy your vacation. You said outside, let's go. He can wait. He's got 20 minutes to wait. Doesn't that make Welland like your favorite place? I mean, that's all I need is pizza and pawn shops. That's it. We went to the butterfly sanctuary when I was across the falls. Oh, that sounds amazing. Pawn shop, check. Pizza, check. Mini wargaming, check. What more do you need? Not much. You know this girl loves pawn shops. Almost all of my jewelry has come from pawn shops. Um, it's just, yeah, it's a great way to get stuff cheap. And, I used to work in one for a very long time. Way too long. I did the pawn thing. Way too long. Oh, Tanya. I would really like to sing along with my music, but I really don't want to get a copyright strike. That's why we don't have music here anymore. Is because I might have been singing on stream. You know, good old YouTubes. Yeah, I also have allergies right now. But like normally I have hay fever. Like I almost always have hay fever. But now I also have hives. Like I've got hives right here. Like what the heck? So that's fun. The trees are trying to kill me. The completely fair and properly working copyright system of YouTube. Yep. Everything makes total sense. It's very clear and easy to manage. Yeah. Yeah. And as somebody who just like really enjoys music, it's such a bummer that I like can't share music with all of you, and like we can't take requests and we can't like have dance parties and stuff. It's kind of a bummer, not gonna lie. Okay, so I've got to do this little bit here. I think I'm just gonna do like this whole area here in the blue. Like, I would love to share this song with you all. This is a song by another hobbyist, his band. And I can't, and it sucks. Everything you use has to be like quadruple checked before you can use it, and even then you pray it's still good. Yeah, so it's just better just to not. You know? It's such a pain. Okay, I'm gonna start putting some. Oh, I needed to grab one of my painted ones because I need a reference. Okay. Screw this guy. For reference, this is what we're going for. Okay. Just for his holster here. So the gun itself is going to be black. Hopefully I shook this black enough. So we'll do that. Oh yes. I wanted to ask, I've been considering getting something from Gear Guts for my orcs. I'd like to give you the credit. When the time comes, do I click on a link on your channel? Like the affiliate kind of deal? Is that what you mean? Or something else? Um, yeah, so if you're thinking about doing like an affiliate sale with my affiliate link, you just click the link when this video goes up. All the information will be in the bio. Not the bio. It'll be in the description of the video. And it is weird, but yes, we use GoAF Pro, so you do have to use the like the little linky thing. And yeah, that really helps me out. Right now we're also having a sale. I guess like full disclosure for people who don't know, but I do work for Gear Guts. I wear many hats over there, but that is like my full-time job. However, I am also an affiliate, so anything that people buy through my affiliate link, it actually goes towards me getting more miniatures, essentially. Because I don't print for myself. I get other people to print for me. Oh. follow Gear Guts on the gram. I just took that over last week. But yeah, so yeah, you just use the affiliate link. I think if you go to my channel and you go to the About section, I might have put my link tree in there. Maybe, if I was thinking. If you still can't find it though, you can private message me somewhere and I can get it for you. And yeah, the 15% off is on all month. However, it's always best to order early so that you can make sure that you can get your stuff first. Because all the orders go into a queue and then they have to be printed. So if you wait till the end of the sale, you're going to be pushing like the sort of longer end of our production time before you get your stuff. Although I will say, our printer that we have, like our producer, is very efficient. I feel very, very blessed to have this person on our team. Because we went through a few printers, let me tell you. I can't tell where, like, the gun ends here. I'm just going to paint it, and then if I painted it wrong, so I'm going to go pull up a reference photo for this miniature. So I'm just going to paint it, and then if I painted it wrong, I'll go in and I'll fix it off stream. I forget who. I was on my Instagram and somebody was, I guess, putting together some old miniatures, and I think it was Slanesh Girl. And it's like the only bad thing is like you don't really know what some of these bits are. And I was like, yeah, some of those old Warhammer miniatures are like, oh, the worst for me were like the push fit Chaos cultists. I don't know if anybody put those together, but I painted, I think 20 of them before I gave away my Chaos Space Marine army. And I was like, oh man, like, I don't know what half of these bits are. And like, anything underneath the arm or like on a belt, I was like, I'm just gonna guess. Just gonna guess what this is. Take our best guess. Like, I think his sidearm is exactly the same as the sidearm on the others that I did. Like, it looks exactly the same. So I'm guessing that it just has all this extra stuff on the holster to like keep it there. I think. That's what I'm gonna say. I've had to ask friends to identify details on Infinity Minis because I couldn't tell. Turns out it was a knife scabbard on the guy's forearm, right? Like, I do find with these miniatures, again, it's an aesthetic I'm not really well versed on. So, like, I do find myself sort of stopping and being like, I need to look at the art, like the box art. Like, what is this? Um, so yeah, I do find myself doing that quite a bit, actually. So I think I'm going to show you guys, like, maybe you'll be able to see, maybe not. So I'm sticking to my goal of using this brush to paint this miniature. And I just want to show you like the difference, because I've done just as much on Lady O. I mean, I've done more on Lady O with this brush than I have on this miniature with this brush. And well, I don't know if you'll actually be able to tell. Can't really tell. But this evergreen one is not holding a tip as well. It's definitely got wear on it already. It's not as tough. It's a bit of a softer bristle, and I think that that's the reason why it's not lasting as long. So I think this would probably be a better brush for like watercolor. Um, Personally, I'm still gonna finish this miniature with it, but then I think I'm gonna retire this one. Also, it's like very soft compared to this one. So yeah, but this Shiraz brush, I could see this Rosemary and Co. Shiraz brush going into like my heavy rotation. These are amazing. I really, really like these. This one, not so much. It's still okay, but it's too much money for miniature painting, in my opinion, because miniature painting is actually very, very difficult to keep your brushes nice. It's very hard on brushes. Weapons are usually pretty consistent in design within a given faction. Yeah, that's what I sort of came across. Hey, Zan, how's it going? And is it C. Medalis? Is that how you say your name? I'm not sure, but hello, how's it going? So I am going to do some touch-ups on all of the white at the end, but those pieces are like up above everything else, so those will be really easy to clean up. I think I'm going to paint the back of his leg here the blue. Right here. I am really enjoying the challenge of painting these miniatures, because it's a different, I mean, it's the same scale, but it's different, right? Warhammer is heroic scale, which is honestly a lot easier to paint um, than these, but just because it's more difficult doesn't mean that it's like not fun. I am really enjoying um, like learning a new skill set to paint these. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of this blue color here. Where does this one go to? There. So I'm gonna do a little bit here. Guy has a little bit there, so we'll do this. Do you find your brushes wear down differently on different materials? No. The brushes wear down a little bit more when you're doing base coating. Not so much how I'm doing this, because I've already pushed a lot of color into the recesses. So this is actually very, what's the word I'm looking for? This is detail work still, even though it's base coating. But the way that I normally paint, I'm very hard on my brushes and base coating. So um, I tend to use older brushes, ones that I've already wrecked to do that. Um, Glazing is really hard on your brushes. Um, so when I am normally painting, I don't try to get paint any further up than, like, say here on the brush. Because as soon as you get any pigments sort of next to the ferrule or even in there, that's when the brushes really start to fail. Um, so when you glaze, there's more water, and the brushes are designed to bring water up into them, and therefore bringing pigment up into them. So the more water that you have, the further up the bristles that they will travel, and it's actually really, really difficult on your brushes. Like, it just ruins them. So something to be aware of. Um, but yeah, these are different materials altogether. Like, they're both man-made materials because, I don't really enjoy the ideal of like weasel butt fur in my brushes, especially when what we do is so hard on brushes. But yeah, so I'm testing out different synthetics to see how I like them, because normally I use a golden Taklon, which is just like a very cheap brush, but it's actually quite hardy when you compare it to even like white Taklon. White Taklon is good. It's a nice stiff brush, but it doesn't tend to last as long. And this wears about the same as a white Taklon, whereas this one here um, is acting more like a golden Taklon. So brushes with Tanya. It's warm out. Nice. And yeah, it's warm here too. I'm going to go for a walk in a little bit. I'm going to just try and do a little bit more on this guy's legs. Um, but I'm going to head out soon because Doggo is going to need a walk. But yeah, I like to try new things, right? And these brushes are kind of like mid-range in terms of price. Like, they're not as expensive as um, natural bristles by any means, not even close. Um, but I mean, they're not as cheap as my 25-cent brushes. So I am always sort of interested to see, because there are some people who are quite snobbish about like brushes and stuff, right? And they're like, you should invest in your art or whatever, yourself as an artist. And it's like, yeah, but I have, and I don't like the expensive brushes. So by trying new things, I can always just sort of like, I don't know, I guess not really argue, but sort of like hold my own and be like, no, I do try stuff. I choose to use these cheap brushes because I like them the best. Oh man, we went to the next store over, or the next town over, to go to the art store because we don't have a Michael's in my town. I live in a small town. So we went to Michael's in the search for our magical, mystical, amazing clear coat, and they didn't have it. This stuff is getting so hard to find, and I don't know why. I don't know if like Winsor and Newton has supply chain issues or something like that. I just don't know. But yeah, I'm just having trouble finding this stuff. So sad, Panda. Oh, I can hear my dog talking. Yeah, it's time. It's time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do off stream this, probably not today, but this week for sure. I'm going to finish doing all of the base coats, and I'm going to apply a wash just so that next week we can go ahead and start doing the highlights on at least one of the colors, so you can sort of see. I'll probably actually start with this blue because a lot of that tends to be like lower down. So that's what we're gonna do next week is start doing the blue highlights. And yeah, and this guy will be all ready to go for that. Wash is applied, ready to go. Um, I love hearing different experiences with things like this. Also love that you're doing Infinity. I have a Toha and Hackaslam army still waiting for attention. Yeah, so my husband and I wanted to try Code 1. We've played a few games and I really like it. Um, and I don't know, I just really like the look of um all of the minis that were in this starter set. So that seems like a really good call. And I just kind of liked that it was like a coalition of like all of the different sort of like Asian kind of countries. I thought that was pretty cool. I lived with a Chinese family for 9 months, and that was like an amazing experience. So it kind of like also brings me back to like that time that was like really happy for me. That they were um, a very happy place for me in a time that was not very happy. So um, yeah, it kind of like reminds me of those really good people to have some Chinese people in my sort of faction. Um, And yeah, so next week that's what we're going to do. Wednesday, we are going to keep going on the rare rules in Warhammer 40k Explained. And we're just going to sort of revisit fight again as a whole. This is a rule that again has been phased out of a lot of cases, but there's still some instances where you can fight again. So we're going to look at those. And then Friday, I think Rob and I are still going to be doing boarding actions in the Patreon Discord. So this week I'm going to be trying Orcs and he's going to be trying Space Wolves. So we're going to see how it plays. And I think both of our factions have extra stratagems that we can use from the Angron book if we decide that we want to do that. And then that's all that I have this week. That's it. Man, there might actually be new Forge the Narrative stuff coming out next Saturday or so. We're still trying to figure it out because we want to do like our reactions to all of the new 10th edition stuff that's come out. We kind of took like a really bad time to take a vacation, so and all of us are kind of workaholics, so we do want to come back and do like a special episode where we talk about that. So if we do that, that'll be coming out probably on the weekend. And what else? That's it. That's all I have for you. I hope that you have a wonderful week. I hope that your week is full of love and games and art and relaxation. And that's all that I really have for you. So until next time, everybody, be nice and roll dice. Bye.